Hey, hello, Guitargear1. I had a special request. I had a guy ask me to do a review of my ESP, and I actually have two of them, so I'll actually sneak in my other one too. But staying true to our Guitargear1 mission here, this is a great find for under $500. I actually was able to pick this up, and this, by the way, is 89 ESP Maverick. I got this for like 350 bucks shipped on eBay. I'm not positive what these retailed for when they came out, but I'm sure it was over $1,500. It's just all-out shredder guitar, really. It has all the features that I like. When you start looking at like the Mirage and a lot of the older ESP models, a lot of them all have 22 frets. I'll never understand that, and I'm sure somebody has an answer, but like with Charvel, like there's San Dimas, and a lot of the really popular shredder guitars, a lot of those dudes, Eddie Van Halen, George Lynch, all those guys are playing 22 fretted guitars, and I don't understand why you would want the full 2 octaves, but whatever. But this one does have a full 2 octave register, which is great. Double locking trem. It has a single coil in the neck, and then a humbucker in the bridge, 1 volume, 3-way toggle. It would be nice to have a tone, especially for this single coil. And the thing is too, what's so weird to me is that there's clearly 2 coils here. I'm looking right at them. 1, 2. It's listed as a single coil pickup, and it sure as hell sounds like one. It's got plenty of hum to it, and it's real kind of glassy and chimey like a single coil is. So, I'm not trying to explain anything, guys. I'm just telling you the facts. And then another weird thing is, this guitar unfortunately shipped without the trem arm, and I'm unable to find one so far. I've actually read other guys say don't ever lose your trem arm on these old guitars because you'll never find one. Now here's what's crazy. Right on top of the trem it says ESP Floyd Rose licensed, right? So we're thinking Floyd Rose, but then at the bottom it says Kahler. I'm like, Floyd Rose and Kahler, and then it's got these flat wheels instead of the regular Floyd tuners, so I don't know what the hell it is or how to find a trem arm, so I'm probably never going to have one, which sucks. Beyond that, here's what I want to tell you guys. It's got an alder body, which is cool because I got mixed feelings on basswood. It sounds cool for a lot of the kind of like low tune metally new school stuff, but it's not very articulate to me. Like none of my favorite guitar players play a basswood bodied guitar. This one's alder. Lexi Lyle plays alder. All your Strat players are playing alder, unless you know a lot of Strats are made out of ash, but typically if you like a good Strat sound or a heavy Strat sound, especially with a humbucker in it, it's going to be an alder body guitar. It's a bolt-on. Most of these older guitars are, and the neck on this thing is actually pretty awesome. First of all, and the thing that struck me the most when I took this thing out of the box when I got it is it has the most asinine thick slab of rosewood I've ever seen. I'll actually do a side shot of this later. I'll pick up the camera and show you, but I'm not even kidding. I mean, it's probably over 1/4 inch thick. I mean, it's just like a mound of rosewood slathered on a maple neck, which is awesome. The frets weren't in too bad a shape when I got it, and especially considering the age of this thing. It's got a ding on the headstock, so there's like a chip out of the black paint there, and there's a couple dings around the body, but for the most part, it's super freaking clean. One really weird thing is I just had such a hard time believing this is an original finish. And don't anybody think that I was looking high and low for a white camo guitar. Like, I literally told my mom, if this thing said I love dicks on it, I still would have bought it for 300 bucks. But white camo is pretty up there with I love dicks. It sucks. So actually my plan was I wanted to strip this down, and I found a guy on eBay that's selling paint kits. They're basically just stencils, and then they have like a color chart of what you'd spray over. And I wanted to do a George Lynch Kamikaze 1 paint job over this thing. I thought that looked pretty badass. I'm a total sucker for old ESP graphics. Let's bring the graphics back. See, that's the thing, man. Like, everybody's all about like a beautiful maple top, and I have guitars like that, and I really like them. But I miss the graphics from the 90s, man. Like, I grew up in my dad's guitar store, and like all the ESPs were all about having cool ass graphics, and like some of that shit was really cool, and I actually really miss it. So that's kind of like my private quest. So, yeah, every once in a while I'll see these going for really cheap, man. Again, I think it's cooler than a Mirage. It has extra frets, which is something I look for. Well, a full, 2 register So it has ESP tuners on it, whatever. But one thing I will say is, and I'm not sure about this, first of all, when I got it, it had some bargain basement humbucker stuck in it. Like, it was just like total crap. I mean, it looked like it probably came out of a Squire or something. So I slapped a JB in there, and then I was going to replace this with a little 59, see how that sounds. But I had a friend of mine, you know, put in the pickups for me, and when I got the guitar, there's a short between the neck and bridge pickup, and you kind of got to jiggle the toggle to get the pickups to catch. And even since he's rewired it, it's still not working. So I'm assuming, I don't know if it's the potentiometer or something in the toggle switch itself or whatever. So I'm probably gonna end up replacing all these switches and the potentiometer and see what happens with that. So with older guitars, just be aware of that. So I mean, the bottom line is, you know, I got this thing shipped to my house for like $350. I got a used JB on eBay for 55, I think it was, shipped. So that puts me at like 405, and then I'll probably pay, you know, $10 in switches, puts me at 415. So yeah, I mean, and the paint kit is like, I think it was like $60, and then I have a buddy of mine that works at a paint shop. So I mean, paint's really expensive unless you can get it in small quantities. So I mean, even still, I'm looking at coming in at about $500, which is where I was hoping to be. And if that's the case, and I end up being really happy with this guitar, I got a killer playing, what will be a killer looking ESP, real ESP, not LTD, you know, for $500. And you can certainly do that too. That's the point of these videos. Like, I want you guys to be aware of this. I saw a gold Maverick like this going for, I think, $4, and there's nothing wrong with that one if you could deal with the gold color. And yeah, so it's just a cool model to be aware of. You know what I mean? It's kind of one of those ones that fell between the cracks. I don't really know anybody that knows anybody that would even know what a Maverick is. But it definitely has all the features you're looking for. So I'm just going to go ahead quick and just strap it on and just show you some of the sound stuff, just to show you whatever, I guess, if anybody has any questions. So yeah, we'll just do a little playing, and if anybody has any questions at all, feel free to email me. Oh, real quick before I do that, let me just mention my other ESP, because I told the guy I would. And again, I'm not bragging at all, but this one is actually made for my dad from ESP as a gift. He was, for a while, the #2 ESP distributor in the United States. He was one of the first guys to pick up on the distributorship, and they made him this, and they inlaid the logo to our guitar store on the headstock for him, and it's made out of swamp ash, which is kind of a, you know what, man, this is like the most sentimental guitar I have. Like, it's never going to go anywhere. I got stickers on it. Like, I've had this thing since I was like 12. You know, it's like where I really learned how to play guitar. I mean, it's never, I'm never going to give it up, but man, like, I don't know, I got mixed feelings on swamp ash. It's cool and it's not, you know, and maybe someday I'll end up really, really, really liking it, but it's just a standard Strat, I mean, as far as that goes. The body size is smaller than that of a Fender. It's a little bit more ergonomic. I mean, it's a little easier to kind of just get around on it. The neck has a really nice, I don't want to say compressed feel to it, but it's very, extremely familiar to me, because I've spent more time playing this guitar than any other guitar on the planet. But yeah, I just threw a little, what the hell, a hot rail in the neck, or the bridge. But other than that, it's totally stock. And yeah, this thing's kind of my baby, so if you've seen it sitting in the back, and I have it in some of my older videos too, where I'll bust it out every once in a while. My Black Keys video, I play this guitar, and it gets a really nice twangy Strat sound. That kind of like mid-rangey, out-of-phase tone that some guys go for. I'll use it for stuff like that. So anyway, that's what this is, if anybody's been seeing it in the background. And by the end of the, time, I'm going to make a video of my Heritage Les Paul. Heritage is a really cool company for you guys to check out if you're unaware of them. Yeah, so I'll play a little bit on the Maverick, and I'll leave you guys alone. And I'll keep this really quick, because I'm sure we're running out of time here too. So, I don't know if you can hear it all in the video. My camera seems to pick up everything, but you can hear that single coil humming pretty good. And I don't know why. And it doesn't necessarily sound good and glassy either. So, like, if you're playing the... Wouldn't be my first choice for that kind of music at all. I don't really know what it's good for. It's kind of thin. just about anything. I don't know. I would never really use it for anything. JB, however. Just classic metal all day long, you know? Just burn on the thing, man. That's what it's for. Sorry I'm sloppy. I guess the action on here is a lot higher than I remember from the last time I played. I've only been playing my 7-string lately. So, sorry for that, and I know I'm going to get all kinds of guys that are going to be like, oh, you should learn how to play guitar before you make reviews. But that's not why I'm here. I'm just here to talk about guitars, motherfucker. Ow!